Alrighty, so today we are going to be taking a quick and hopefully not too disjointed look at Dolt. Dolt is a combination of SQL and Get. So let me do a quick demonstration. So we're just going to go into a new directory. We're going to make a new directory called test for Dolt. Then we're going to initialize a new database. Alright, so we are successfully have database running. So we are going to start up a MySQL server there. So what this is doing is we're starting up this server so that we can hit it with Python. The -h 192.168.0.10 is the Dolt server's IP address. Otherwise, it can only be accessed via the 192 home address 127.0.0.1. So we're starting up the server. And now let's take a quick look at the Python that's hitting that. So we are hitting the server that is running it on port 3306, and you can see here that it is saying the IP address on 3306. Its user is root. The password is blank, and you can see here, root user blank password, and it uses the folder name, substituting dashes and spaces for underscores. So let's do, instead of temp Dolt, we will do test for Dolt, some random code. We're going to be working with two sets of tables, Bubba Joe and JSON SPO, and not Bubba Joe and not JSON SPO. So we have some functions here for building those tables, dropping the tables. You can see here what we're doing is we are building the tables for table set 1. So let's go ahead and run that. After it makes those tables, it will put in a little bit of data. This is probably not good data to be storing in the database, but this isn't really about databases as much as it is about Dolt. So that is what we are doing. So we're going to run that command. Okay, so it ran and is printing out the show tables output. So it has Bubba Joe and JSON SPO in it, and it is putting into Bubba Joe a couple of values. So let's take a look at that. Oh, and before I did all this, I also had to configure Dolt by putting in my email, username, and all these commands in the in my README file here are at this YouTube video. I will put a link to that in the description. It was quite helpful. So let's select everything from Bubba Joe. So Dolt SQL -Q, the command you want to run. So it put in the two values. Let's run this again just to prove it wasn't already there. Over here, in the server area, you could see where it added a new connection. Run it again, 2 more. So let's check the Dolt status. If you're familiar with Git, this looks very similar. So you can see that we have 2 new tables. So Dolt add dot to add everything. So it has 2 things ready to go. So Dolt commit test init. Alright, so we can do the Dolt log. We can see we made a new repo. Yep. So nothing to commit on the branch. Let's run the program again a couple of times. Dolt status. Oh, and let's see, fill the tables. Yep. Let's pull down the data from Bubba Joe. 22 entries. One more time for kicks and giggles. 24 entries. So I don't want all these. So let's do a let's go back to how it was when we first started. Right after the commit. Alright, so as you just saw there, running the client over here can cause some issues when you're trying to do some of the Git work with Dolt. So let's start the server back up. Run that a couple more times. Alright, it's 18. We try the reset hard, and it's full. So, yep, sometimes this is just kind of a mess if you're trying to run the SQL Server and change the database in with the Dolt parts. So let me demonstrate another example of that. Dolt status, you see we're on branch master. So we're going to make a new branch called Bob. So let's go ahead and run this again. Actually, 1 second. Yep. Run this again. And you'll see that we're back on master because the client over here switched us back to master. So, yep. And you can see that we've added in all those extra values. So let's go ahead and cancel out of this. just so that we can make some of those Dolt changes. Dolt branch A to list all the branches. And you can see that the Bubba Joe has been modified because all these were added without committing the changes. They just move along with whatever branch you happen to be on. So let's add those changes. Add it to branch Bob. All right, lots of values in the Bob branch. So let's check out master. And because we made those changes on master, when we go back to Bubba, I'm sorry, when we made the changes to the Bob branch, when we go back to master, all those changes are still on Bubba, so master stays the same. So status Dolt log, and let me grab those tables. Dolt reset. Okay, so what we did here is we went back and reset it back to a previous version, to a previous commit, and before the tables were there. So let's get that data back. Alright, so we just checked out the more recent version, and you can see that the changes are back. Hopefully this will get you started on Dolt, and I hope you have a great day, and hope this was useful. Thank you. Bye.